Hey yo, first and foremost, shout out to Lamont Roach and Tank. That was a great fight. I enjoyed it. But yo, I'm making this video because for the whole build up, y'all were killing me over my victory over Lamont, saying that he wasn't worthy of the Tank fight. But at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say. I got that W. That's all I'm saying. I got the W.
The boxing world is buzzing after the intense showdown between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Here are some of the wildest reactions to the fight. Lamont Roach is no stranger to Gervonta Davis. The two first crossed paths in the amateur ranks, building a history that made their recent clash even more intense. Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has seen Davis rise to superstardom, but that past connection meant nothing in the lead-up to this fight. The tension was real, and the energy was electric. "My mindset is to beat him," Roach told Boxing Scene before the fight. Roach claimed his title in November 2023 with a win over Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez's victory against Demetrius Andrade. He then defended it once against Furkan Ugur on ProBox TV before landing this career-defining fight against Davis. One of the biggest opportunities a boxer can get. "This camp is different because I feel like they're counting me out," said Roach, addressing the skepticism surrounding his chances. The 29-year-old was responding to Terence Crawford's blunt take on the fight. The former undisputed champion stated that, in today's boxing scene, only his close friend Shakur Stevenson and stablemate Keyshawn Davis, who recently cemented himself as a top lightweight, have the tools to truly challenge Gervonta Davis. Tank has earned a reputation as a ruthless finisher, forcing opponents on the back foot with his power. In his only fight of 2024 before this one, he stopped Frank Martin, following up on his knockout win over Ryan Garcia the year prior. For many, Roach was up against an impossible challenge, but history has proven that the biggest upsets come when least expected. Just like Muhammad Ali shocked the world against George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle, Roach was stepping into a moment that could define his legacy. Wasting no time, he kicked things off on March 1st with a bold statement. "Roses are red, violets are blue." The world may have just witnessed the crowning of a new WBA lightweight champion. Roses are red, violets are blue. March 1st sounds like, and the new, Roach declared with confidence. But this fight was about more than just a title defense for Davis or another challenge for Roach. It was personal. Their rivalry dates back to 2011 when Davis defeated Roach twice as an amateur. Now, over a decade later, Roach was determined to rewrite history, and he wasn't shy about saying it. If there's one thing Davis won't do, though, it's back down, especially when the trash talk starts. The moment Roach Jr. spoke up, Davis was quick to fire back. "Roses are red, violets are blue." March 1st sounds like a, "Don't worry, baby, you'll be home soon from the hospital," Davis clapped back. Fans wasted no time reacting, with opinions ranging from hype to complete dismissal. Love it or hate it, people were eating up the back and forth. Terence Crawford kept the heat on, fueling the debate even further. Surrounded by reporters, he weighed in on the growing buzz around Gervonta Davis and the lightweight division. With Shakur Stevenson now holding the WBO title in 2 weight classes, the idea of a unification bout with Tank Davis was no longer just speculation. It was a real possibility. When asked about a potential title fight, Crawford gave a casual shrug. "Whoever," he said, before making one thing clear. Tank knows what he's up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. Once again, the familiar criticism of Davis resurfaced. Like many others, Crawford argued that Tank had been facing opponents who weren't truly on his level. They might have a little skill here and there, but mentally, they can't keep up for a whole fight, he explained. So, where did Lamont Roach Jr. fit into this? Crawford didn't mention Roach by name, but he made his stance on Davis's first real challenge crystal clear. Them two guys, Shakur and Keyshawn, you know what I mean? They're the ones who are going to give Tank his first loss, the Nebraskan concluded.
5 thing. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people disagreed. Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, "Oh, this guy, you a meat lover."
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Former champion Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight in an interview with Fight Hub TV. While breaking down the matchup, Garcia also explained why he isn't particularly excited about a potential Davis versus Shakur Stevenson showdown. Despite his lack of enthusiasm, Garcia acknowledged that a lightweight unification fight between Davis and Stevenson would be one of the most unpredictable and intriguing matchups in the sport. I think Tank is one of the very best fighters in the lightweight division, Garcia said before the fight. I don't think Roach is a huge threat for him. Tank is very talented, very skilled, and extremely experienced at this point. He's fought all kinds of styles, and his power is on another level. He has that knockout ability and the confidence to use it. Garcia continued, it's hard to go against Tank. No disrespect to Roach, but Tank is a beast. He's been proving it in every fight, and I think he'll win this one too. Meanwhile, Stevenson represents the ultimate hit-and-don't-get-hit fighter, using elite movement, defense, and speed to control his opponents. However, his recent performances have sparked some debate, with critics questioning whether his style is too safe. Mikey Garcia remained firm in his stance. While he acknowledged Shakur Stevenson's skill, he wasn't particularly excited about a potential matchup between Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. I'm actually not a big fan of that fight, Garcia admitted. Shakur is a great fighter, super talented with footwork, speed, reflexes, and counterpunching ability. He's one of the best. But the thing about Shakur is that he's going to fight his fight no matter what, regardless of what the fans or critics want to see. For him, winning is winning. As a fight fan, Garcia didn't find that style appealing. While he respected Stevenson's abilities, he preferred matchups that promised more action. He specifically pointed to Vasily Lomachenko as a more exciting opponent for Tank, believing that Lomachenko's footwork, speed, and reflexes wouldn't stop him from engaging in a real fight. Shakur's style makes for a dull fight, Garcia explained. That's why he's going to struggle to land the biggest fights unless he changes things up a bit and takes more risks. Until then, I don't think Tank or anyone else who's a serious threat fights him. Enter Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the complete opposite of a cautious technician. A knockout artist from Baltimore, Davis has built a reputation for delivering highlight reel finishes, with most of his fights never reaching the final bell. Behind closed doors, whispers from the gym suggest he's not only dominating opponents in the ring, but also punishing much bigger sparring partners. Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley seemed to agree with the hype, predicting before the fight that Davis would secure his 31st career win and his 29th knockout against Lamont Roach Jr. Jim Lampley weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Lamont Roach's confidence, but questioning whether he truly had the tools to solve the Tank Davis puzzle. Roach has done his best to stay optimistic, Lampley noted. He's pointed out that he's seen Davis up close in the amateurs and understands his precision power. He's motivated to build his own legacy and recognizes the financial opportunities that would come with an upset win. However, Lampley pointed out the one thing Roach hadn't done: lay out a convincing strategy for overcoming Davis, a fighter who has built his name on a long string of brutal knockouts and a growing presence as one of boxing's biggest stars. Terence Crawford, like many others, didn't consider Roach to be the man who could hand Davis his first loss, and Lampley agreed, emphasizing that even without his devastating punching power, Davis would still be an elite lightweight. Even if Tank didn't have shocking power, he'd still be a top fighter because of his slick southpaw style, smart footwork, and killer instinct. But it's his raw power that makes him truly special, Lampley explained. He doesn't just beat opponents, he wipes them out in dramatic, often terrifying fashion. Comparing Davis to a natural-born predator, Lampley described his approach as patient and calculated, waiting for the perfect moment before unleashing a sudden, explosive attack. His knockouts are picture-perfect, he added, not unlike what we saw from Mike Tyson in the early stages of his career. Davis is now well beyond the developmental stage, but he is still outclassing shocked opponents. Although Roach claimed that he had improved, Lampley believed that this Saturday's result was still obvious. Lampley said Roach has a quality background and is a highly competent boxer, but when I asked the most experienced boxing writer I know what chance he gave to Roach in this fight, the answer was the same chance I give to a caterpillar crawling in the way of a steamroller. Davis by middle round. Rescue TKO onward to potential matchups with Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, and or Keane Davis, any of whom would have a better chance than Roach. Meanwhile, Bernard Hopkins shared his thoughts on the Davis vs. Roach showdown during an interview with Michelle Joy Phelps of Fight Hub TV. Hopkins didn't hesitate to weigh in on the matchup. He said, Tank Davis, to me, he's going to give anybody problems. The burden is on Roach or anybody else. In this case, it is Roach. The burden is on him. Earlier this summer, Roach was first called up by the sanctioning authority to compete against interim tight-list Albert Baz. Regardless, Hopkins warned Davis, anything can happen in this world of boxing, noting both guys need to come in the way they need to come in. Hopkins also believed that Davis shouldn't ignore Roach. Tank cannot underestimate Roach. Roach is a real good fighter, boxer, and puncher, and he had some confidence from the amateur, Hopkins told Michelle Joy Phelps. Lamont Roach, meanwhile, revealed the circumstances surrounding his fight with Davis. Roach agreed at the time, but since he wasn't yet a champion, the fight didn't go through, and the PBC ended up choosing Hector Luis Garcia. Gervonta Davis appeared to have Bernard Hopkins in his corner, but Beep wasn't letting him get too comfortable. He issued a warning about Roach's skills. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.